Mortgage broker, banker. Which one is better when you are shopping for your new home loan? And what is the difference? I'm Carol Ann Reed with The Real Deal, the place where you can go to get the confidence and the clarity that you need to make the right real estate decisions for you. And today we are going to talk about the different options that you have, the different places you can go to shop for a new or refi home loan. So let's start simple with the bank, which is also known as a direct lender. They're called a direct lender because they actually originate, process, and fund the loan themselves. And these would be people like Wells Fargo, Citibank, or even maybe your local credit union. The bank is usually a really good option if you have a simple loan to do. If you have a good credit score, if you have some down payment, there's nothing special that you need. A bank is a good place to go because they are much more cookie cutter. They don't get very creative about their financing. It's pretty much one size fits all. Now, option B would be a mortgage broker. And a mortgage broker is the middleman between you and the bank. And the difference here is a mortgage broker can shop multiple banks, multiple lenders to figure out which options are the best for you. And these are the people to go to if you have a more complex loan, or if you don't have a very good credit score, or if you don't have very much for a down payment. They can help you. They will know the lenders that are maybe more lenient on credit scores, or maybe have a program for low down payment. They can help you find those different options that are available for you. And the third option is a mortgage lender. And that would be like your Rocket Mortgage or Better Mortgages. They are direct lenders. They are a bank, usually online, but they don't have any other services like checking or savings or anything like that. So you can only do a purchase loan or a refinance loan. And they may or may not even be able to help you with a home equity line of credit or a home equity loan. And I'm not sure why, but, and maybe it's because they don't have all of the overhead of brick and mortar and everything that some of the Wells Fargo and Citibanks have. But sometimes they are a little bit more lenient on their terms than the other direct lenders are. Which one is better? Well, that depends on your situation. They all certainly have their pros and cons. For banks, one of the advantages of using a bank is you get to pick the bank. You get to choose whether you do business with Wells Fargo or US Bank or whatever. And everything is in-house. They do all the processing, everything all in-house. So you usually have really good communication and they're a little faster. They do have some fees that you might be able to negotiate. But I would say overall, if you're thinking of going with a bank and you are in tight with a local banker, that might actually give you the best mortgage experience with that one-on-one personal communication. Now, the cons of going with a bank is, first of all, they have a smaller portfolio of options available. And unfortunately, that also means that if there's something out there, if there's some program that they can't offer you, they probably won't even tell you about it because they can't offer you, but they still want your business. And they don't have to disclose how much money they're making on your loan. And it may be harder to qualify at a bank because they are so cookie cutter. They're not very flexible with their terms. And if you want to shop around, you have to submit different applications at each bank, which means that every time you submit a new application, each bank is going to pull your credit separately. Now, if you are submitting several applications within a couple weeks of each other, your credit score really shouldn't go down too much because it does take shopping around into account, but you have to be careful with that. And while you're thinking about all of this information, please think about going right down below and clicking that like button. Now, mortgage brokers. What's the advantage of a mortgage broker over a bank? Well, first of all, it's the variety of programs that they have available because they can shop everybody. And when you submit an application with a broker, you only submit one application and they can use that application when they're shopping around with the different banks that might be able to help you. They do set their own profits, so it's much easier to negotiate fees down with them. And the money that they make on your loan is clearly stated on your closing statement. And sometimes it's just a more personal experience because they are the person who can advocate for you with the lender. But the cons of going with a mortgage broker is, first of all, you have a little less control over the process. Once you've chosen the program you're going to work with, the loan that you want, they will submit the paperwork to that lender, but then that lender is going to take care of it in-house, and they don't have any control over how fast that lender gets your loan processed. Sometimes they can be a little bit more expensive, but then again, it's usually the creative loans that are a little bit more expensive. So if you don't have a creative loan, if you don't need some special funding, it still could be very, very competitive. And because you have inserted a middleman into that process, it may take a little longer to get that loan processed and to the closing table. And one last thing to think about, and this isn't either a good or a bad thing, just maybe more about how you work. If you like to deal with people and you need that personal contact, then maybe you want to go with a mortgage broker because that person is going to be with you the whole process, no matter which bank you go with. However, if you are more of an introverted person maybe and would like to not have to deal with people and are totally fine doing the whole thing digitally, well, maybe then you want to go to one of those mortgage lenders who actually can complete the entire process online. But as always, make sure that you do your due diligence and shop around. You are going to have to go out and shop in a few different places and do some comparing. Find out who it is that can give you the best rates for the options that you need. Click right here if you want to know the ins and outs of a conventional mortgage, and click right here if you want to know the ins and outs of an FHA mortgage. Thanks for watching. See you next time.